Good morning all. Welcome to the lecture series on application development using Python, module 3, lecture number 17. Content covered in this lecture are finding a pattern of a text without using regular expression, finding a pattern of a text using regular expression, and more pattern matching with regular expression. Coming to learning outcomes, after this lecture, student will have a better understanding of what is a regular expression, how to make use of regular expression to search a particular text in a Word file. So the content covered in this lecture will be depends on Bloom's taxonomy level 2, which is understanding. Content covered in a previous lecture. In last class we have studied how to model real world things using data structure. In that first we have studied how to model tic-tac toy board using a data structure called dictionary. After that we have studied the concept of nested dictionaries and list. The concept of nested dictionary is nothing but it's possible for us to have one dictionary within another dictionary, and even in some cases it's possible for us to use value as a dictionary. So generally a dictionary means element is a combination of key and value, and in some cases it's possible for us to have value as a dictionary in case of dictionary, and even it's possible for us to include one list within another list. For that concept only we call it as nested list. So depends upon requirement, application requirement, we go for nested dictionaries and list. So today's topics, so let us start with a definition of regular expressions. So you may be familiar with searching for a text in a Windows, Microsoft Word. So in order to search a particular word, we are going to use a short notation which is Control F. So once we press this Control F, okay, we will get a box. In that box we are supposed to type the word which we are looking for. So on that case it is going to search a particular word in the Word, Microsoft Word. So regular expressions go one step further. So they will allow us to specify a pattern of a text to search for. Instead of searching for an actual word, so we are going to search, or we are going to specify a particular pattern. So that particular pattern is going to match the expected text. So in this lecture we will start by writing a program to find a text pattern without using regular expressions. After that we are going to use how to make use of regular expressions to make a code much more bloated. So once we use a regular expression in our program, the length of the code will be reduced, the size of the code will be reduced. That means code optimization is going to happen by using regular expressions. So next topic is finding pattern of a text without regular expressions. So here we are going to study a program in that we have not adopted regular expression. Say we want to find a phone number in a string. So we are going to input one string. That string is going to have phone number. So we are supposed to find that phone number. So general pattern or general syntax for that phone number is first 3 numbers followed by hyphen, again 3 numbers followed by hyphen, again 4 numbers. So this is what we are searching for, this is what we are looking for in a given string. Let us use a function. So we are going to write a function called isPhoneNumber to check the string matches this pattern, returning either true or false. So if a string contain this phone number, it is going to return true. If a string is not going to include phone number, on that case it is going to return false. So here, so this represent function definition. So function definition for isPhoneNumber. Let us start tracing with a function call. So first, once we execute this program, so we are going to get a message. We are going to get a message. So that message is this. That message is this. That means we are just checking whether it is a phone number. after that we are going to call this function. After that we are going to call a function is a phone number. For that we are passing a argument. Okay, so that argument is one phone number. We are just checking whether it is a phone number or not. So once this function is called, the content what we have passed, the parameter which we have passed, that will be copied from here to text. So after execution of this statement, the content of text will be the phone number which we have passed to this function. So first it is going to check how many digits are there, how many elements are there in that phone number. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if a phone number is valid, it is going to have or its length will be 12. First we are going to check that condition. If its length is less than 12, it is going to return false. If it returns false, means it is not a valid phone number. In this for loop, we are going to check whether the first 3 digits are decimal numbers. So it is going to check in first iteration, it is going to check text of 0. What is text of 0? 4. Is a decimal number? Okay, yes, it is a decimal number. On that case, it is going to return true. So not true means again it becomes false. So if condition false, this statement is not going to execute for the first time. Second time, again I is going to point to 1. Next it will check 1. Yes, 1 and 5 are decimal number. So this condition evaluates to false. So when it is going to evaluate to false, it is not going to return false. Next it will check with next. So after these 3 decimal numbers, is there any presence of hyphen? That will be checked here. Yes, it contains hyphen. On that case, text of 3 not equal to hyphen. So actually, what is the content of text of 3? Yes, it is a hyphen. Hyphen not equal to hyphen. This condition result into false. So when this condition result into false, in this case also this return false is not going to execute. This statement is not going to execute. Similarly, in next case, next it is going to check next 3 digits are decimal. So with respect to this example, in all 3 iteration, this condition result into true, not true. Again it result into false. So in these 3 iterations, so it is not going to return false. Next it is going to check next character is not equal to hyphen. Yes, it is equal to hyphen. In this case also it is not result into, it is result into false. When it result into false, because again hyphen not equal to hyphen. Okay, so that result into false, again this return statement is not going to execute. In last for loop, we are just checking whether last 4 digits are a decimal number. Of course, last 4 digits are a decimal number, and in all 4 iteration it is not going to return false. So once for control comes out of this for loop, it is going to return true. When it is going to return true, so this function, this called function is going to return a value to yes, so which is true. So because of that reason, we have got output as true here. So after that, next we are displaying one more message. So Moshi is a phone number. When we look at this statement, where so we can easily predict that it is not a phone number. So again we are calling is phone number with a parameter as Moshi. So this will be passed here. Once this is passed here, first it is going to check what is the length of this text. What is the length of this text? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So length of this text is 11. 11 not equal to 12. So 11 is not equal to 12. This condition result into true, and this condition result into true. Return false is going to execute. When return false is going to execute, so directly, so it is going to return false. So result of so this function is going to return one value which is false, which is going to display it here false. So in next, what we want to do, we want to add even more code to find this pattern of a text in a larger string. Okay, so here we even sometime in some cases you would have to add even more code to find this pattern of a text in a larger string. So replace the last 4 print function calls in this particular program. That means, so here we are looking for a pattern this, and the code what we have written is very small because we are just checking in a line. If you are checking in the entire document, on that case code size will be more. So in order to check, so next what we are doing, we are replacing these last 4 lines with a new code. So here I have written this. So here also we have given a particular string here. So I have stored one line here, one line in a message. So first I am finding the length of that message, and every time I am going to send a first 12 characters from this message. Okay, in a first I will retry by using slice operator. First I am going to retry, so 12 characters from this string value which we have stored in a message. So once I copy those 12 characters from this, so those will be stored in a variable chunk, and I am passing this chunk to is phone number, and already we know how it works. So when first character is alphabet, on that case it is going to return, so first it will first here it is not going to return false because 12 not equal to 12. Okay, so on that case condition is not result into true. When condition is not written into true, condition result into false. When condition result into false, it is not going to return false. Next it is going to check whether first, so this for loop is going to repeat for 3 times with a value 0, 1, 2. So first it is going to take text of 0. What is text of 0? C is a decimal function. Okay, is it a decimal number? Yes, C is not a decimal number. On that case this function is going to return false. When this function is going to return false, so not f that result into true. On that case it is going to return false. So when it is going to return false, here so this function is going to return one value which is false. On that case this statement is not going to execute. When this statement is not going to execute, once again control moves to beginning of the next iteration. In next iteration again, so first next 12 character, leaving first character, next 12 character will be copied and that will be passed, and every time it is going to repeat continuously unless until, so here, so when these 12 characters are passed, on that case it is going to return true. So this is phone number is going to return true. When it is going to return true, on that case we are going to get this message, a phone number found with a number as this. So we are going to get that message 2 times because this string contain 2 valid phone numbers which contain 12 digits, so including hyphen. So moving to next, so finding pattern of a text with a regular expression. So previously we have studied how to search for a particular pattern without regular expression, but now we'll have a pattern for regular expression. So the previous phone number finding program works, but it uses a lot of code to do some limited. That means that particular function, so the function what we have written, the function definition of is phone number, which is going to have 17 lines, but can find only one pattern of a phone number. That means first 3 digits followed by hyphen, again first next 3 digits followed by hyphen, lastly it will ends with 4 digits. It is going to work for only that pattern. But what about the phone numbers which have a format like, so first 3 digit, after that dot? So that particular program which is not going to work for these pattern, because instead of hyphen here we have dot. So in even so first 3 digits are written in parentheses. In such cases that particular program is not going to work. So in order to overcome these problems, okay, so this particular function is going to fail to validate them. So you have to add yet more code for these additional pattern, but there is easier way which is provided by regular expression. So regular expression is called REGEXES. So this is the shortcut or short notation for regular expression. Okay, so these regular expressions are the description for a pattern of text. So this will be the definition for a regular expression. What are regular expressions? Regular expressions are nothing but so descriptions for a pattern of text. For example, so here \d is a regular expression. REGEX stands for digit character, that is any digit, any single numerical in between 0 to 9. Similarly, so REGEX, so the program what we have studied, so 3 digits followed by hyphen, 3 digits followed by again 4 last digits. So for that we can have this is used by Python to match same text the previous is phone number function state. A string of 3 character, again hyphen, again 3 more numbers and another hyphen, and lastly it will end with 4 numbers. So that particular phone number can be mapped with this regular expression. So any other string would not match this format. Okay, so any other string would not match this string. That means so this hyphen \d \d 3 times, again 3 times, lastly 4 times rejects. But the regular expression can be much more sophisticated. For example, adding a 3 in curly brackets. So here we have written 3 in a curly bracket after a pattern is likely saying match this pattern 3 times. So particular pattern has to match for how many times? 3 times. So slightly shorter regular expression is, so we are optimizing this. So \d, how many times we have written it here? 3 times. So this writing 3 times can be optimized by using this shortcut. So \d within parenthesis we are supposed to write 3, a pair of braces. Same thing can be written also. So this particular pattern is going to match correct phone number format. Now let us see how to create regular expression object. So all the regular expression functions in a Python are present in a RE module. So expansion of RE is regular expression module. So enter the following in interactive shell to import that particular module with a name regular expression. So passing a string value representing our regular expression to this function. So when we are going to pass a string value representing regular expression, so here we are passing a particular pattern. So we are passing a particular pattern. So for this function, for compile function, so it is going to create, or that is going to return, so regular expression pattern object, or simply regex object, regular expression object. So when we are passing this pattern to this compile function, it is going to generate regular expression object. So the return regular expression object is stored in a variable phone number REGEX, regular expression. Now this phone regular REGEX variable contain so regular expression object. So next, matching regular expression object. So this object, okay, object is a search method that searches the string it is passed for any matches to the regex. So next we are using here search method, which will return none if the particular pattern is not found. If the particular pattern is found, on that case this search method is going to return match object. So match object have a, and even that match object is going to have a method called group. So that will return the actual match text from the searched string. Let us take one simple example here. So we have passed a pattern which is related to particular phone number to a compile function. On that case, it is going to return one regular expression object, which will be stored in a variable phone num regular expression, and on this object we are calling search. That means we are searching this pattern in this string. If it is found, okay, so that match is that is going to return match object. If it is not found, on that case, okay, so it is going to return none, what we have studied earlier. So now if it is found, yes, of course, this string contain that phone number. On that case, it is going to return match object. So match object will be stored in a variable mo. Now that matched object, so as we have studied here, matched objects have a group method. So that will return actual match text from the search string. So whatever the matched text, that will be present in a this matched object. So that match object can be displayed by using group function. So here, so this phone number is matched for this particular pattern. So that is stored in a variable mo. So in order to display the matched content from this object, we are using group function. So as a result of this statement, we have got output as this. Moving to next concept, which is more pattern matching with the regular expressions. Now we know the basic steps for creating and finding regular expression objects with the Python, and we are ready to try some of their more powerful pattern matching capabilities. The first one is grouping with parentheses. Say we want a specific area code. So we have taken in previous examples, we have considered phone number. In that, from that phone number, I want only area code. Okay, I want only area code from the rest of the phone number. So when I want only area code, I am going to use the concept of parenthesis. So that parenthesis will create a groups in a regular expression object. So here, so the phone number what we have considered, so it is going to have first 3 digits followed by hyphen, followed by next 3 digits followed by hyphen, lastly it will end with 4 digits. So when we required area code, so I am going to write this pattern within the parenthesis. So after that, rest of the phone number I have written it second set of parenthesis. So this makes group 1 and this create group 2. So then we can use a group method which is used to match object to grab the matching text from just one group. So the first set of parentheses in a regular expression string will be a group 1, that is 3 3. So this will construct a group 1. The second set of will be a group 2 by passing the integers 1 or 2 to these groups, that is going to match object method. So we can grab different parts of a match text by passing 0 or nothing to a group method will return the entire match text. So let us take a few examples here. So first I am creating regular expression object by executing compile method. So in order to make use of compile method, first thing we supposed to import a module. Name of that module is regular expression, import RE. So import RE. So after that I can make use of the function which are available in RE. So once I compile this, so and by using this term we are making it as a raw data, we are making it as a raw string. The string what we have mentioned is a pattern. In that pattern we are making use of the concept of grouping with the parenthesis. So here we have made 2 groups among the pattern. So this represents first group, this represents second group. So here we have created a regular expression object. Using this object we are calling a method which is search. So for the search we are going to pass a string. So from that string it is going to match the required pattern. So as this string contain a phone number, so from that phone number, so first three matching will be stored in a group 1. So, those first 3 digits will be stored in a group 1. So, rest of the numbers that will be stored in a group 2. So, now by using this object, so matched will be written in an object which is mo. By using this variable we can call those group methods. So, mo dot group 1 which is going to return first matching. So, first matching is 41y. So, next matching will be rest of the digits, rest of the 7 digits which we will get this, and group 0. So, group 0 is going to display entire matching. So, even group 0 is going to match display entire matching. So, for the lastly we have observed here. So, for the group we have not at all passed any argument. In both the cases it is going to return entire matching text that corresponds to a particular pattern. Yes, this pattern that maps with a phone number, valid phone number, which is going to have 12 digits, or length of that phone number will be 12, including hyphens. So, now we would like to retrieve all groups at once. So, I want to retrieve all groups data at the once. On that case, I am going to use groups. So, groups method that will retrieve all the possibilities. So, all matched string will be retrieved by using groups. So, now we will take one simple example for the above example. So, mo dot groups. So, it is going to retrieve. So, for the group 1 matched content is 3 digits, for the group 2 matched content is rest of the phone number code. So, these two can be retrieved by using groups here. Okay. So, after that, so one thing we have to observe, the content what is written by groups is a tuple, because the output is enclosed within parenthesis. Parenthesis is the representation of tuple. So, at a time we can assign 2 values by using this groups also. So, it is going to return these 2 values. So, on that case, so this first value will be assigned for area code, second value will be assigned for main number, which we are printing it here using print statement. And in case of group 1, 2, okay, so 0 and without using any parameter for a group, and all are going to return string value, but groups is going to return tuple, that you have to remember. So, parentheses have a special meaning in a regular expression, but if a matched text, okay, so if a matched text, if it is contain parenthesis, on that case we have to remove its special meaning of parenthesis. So, for instance, maybe the phone number we are trying to match may be having area code within the parenthesis. So, here we have taken one string here. In this string a phone number area code which they have written within the parenthesis. On that case we have to modify our pattern. So, in this case we can escape the meaning of parenthesis by using escape character. So, escape character is nothing but backslash. So, in that pattern before parenthesis we supposed to use this backslash. So, here also I have used backslash, and here also I have used backslash before this parenthesis. So, which is going to remove the special meaning of that parenthesis. So, what is the special meaning for parenthesis? Parenthesis that represent groups. So, that meaning we have removed. So, again once after compiling, one object will be created, regular expression object will be created. Using that object we have called a search method. For the search method we have passed a string. The string contain one phone number with respect to specified pattern. The first 3 digits are going to match, and that will be available in a group 1. So, rest of the phone number, main number will be available in group 2. So, this is how we are going to escape the special meaning of particular parenthesis. Now, matching multiple groups with a pipe. So, this character, for that we call it as pipe. So, we can use anywhere, okay, in a program to match one or more expressions. Let us take one simple example, regular expression. So, this expression is going to have Batman followed by pipeline followed by Tina Fey. So, it is going to match either Batman or Tina Fey. So, when both Batman and Tina Fey occurs in a searched string, on that case it is going to return first occurrence of match text will be returned as a match object. Let us take one simple example. So, here mention pattern. So, we have mentioned a pattern. So, either it has to match either Batman or Tina Fey. So, that will be here we are creating a object, a regular expression object with a hero regular expressions. So, again we have called a search method on this object and we have passed a string. So, from this string, so this pattern is going to match. So, after matching, as I told, so when we look at the string, it is going to have both the possibilities, both the occurrence from the pattern. So, it is even it is going to match with Batman, even it is going to match with Tina Fey. On that case, when both are matching, it is going to return first occurrence as we have studied here. It is going to return first occurrence from the match string, which is Batman. So, because of that reason, so when we are calling this group function with this object, it is going to return Batman. So, next we have written Tina Fey first followed by Batman. On that case, it is going to match first, this thing will be returned. Now, we can also use the pipe to match one of the several pattern as a part of regular expression. So, here I am using this. So, I am using first word, first pattern as a bat followed by multiple pattern which are separated by pipeline. So, that means it may maps with Batman or it may maps with Bat mobile, it may mapped with Bat copter or it may matched with Bat. So, either any one it is going to match. So, we have first we are created a regular expression object. Using that object we are calling a search method. For the search method we have passed a string. From this string it is going to find this pattern. Yes, when we look at this string, yes, it is going to match with Bat mobile. So, match string will be written in a object mo and that matched string can be displayed by calling group method. So, once we call this group method, it is going to display Bat mobile. So, here the method call this. So, that is going to return full matched text which is Bat mobile, while so mo dot group 1. So, this function is going to return just a part of the matched text inside the first parenthesis group. So, inside the first parenthesis group we have only mobile. So, if I am using group 1, it is going to return the pattern what we have mentioned within the parenthesis. So, which is mobile. Next, optional matching with the question mark. So, now we can use a special character in a regular expression which is question mark, which will makes optional matching. Let us take one simple example. Sometime there is a pattern that we want to match only optionally. If it is present, it has to match. If it is not present, it should ignore. That is, so this regular expression. So, that object should find a match whether or not that bit of the text is there. If it is there, it has to match. If it is not there, it is just ignored. So, we have a special character which is question mark. So, that flags the group that precedes it as an optional part of the pattern. So, here we have mentioned a pattern. In that pattern, first 3 characters are Bat followed by within the parenthesis WO. So, this is optional. If search string contain, so these 2 words starts with Bat and ends with man, in between if it contain WO, it is going to match. If it is not present, it is going to match with Batman. That means, so this question mark that maps with 0 or more occurrence of mentioned pattern. So, again here once we have called the search method, so here we have passed a string, that string contain Batman. So, when we look at this string, this word, so it is here WO is missing. That means, even though it is missing, it is going to match this Batman. That means, so this question mark is going to map with 0 or more occurrence of mentioned pattern. So, because of that reason, group has displayed Batman. So, looking at one more example, in this example it is Batwoman. So, when the string contain Batwoman, yes, in this case it has mapped with one time occurrence of W. So, which we have got this Batwoman. In next cases, So, using the earlier 4 number example, we can make this regex looks for regular expression looks for a phone number that do or do not have an area code. So, let us take one simple example. In this example string, this contain area code, first 3 numbers which are going to represent area code. Even though here it is present, it has displayed here, but in next example what we have taken here. In next example, in this example area code is missing, first 3 bits are missing. So, because of this optional matching question mark, so even though area code is missing, it is going to map with regular expression. Because of that reason, when we display the content of matched object, we have got this. So, finally, we can say, so this question mark that match 0 or 1 of the group preceding this question mark. If we need to match an actual question mark character, again we have to use one escape character. That escape character is a backslash. Now, matching with 0 or more with the star. Okay. So, here star, so star that represent asterisk. So, it is going to match with 0 or more occurrence of particular pattern. So, the group that proceeds with the star can occur any number of times in the text, and it can be completely absent or repeated over and over again and again. If it is absent means it is matching for how many times? 0 time. If it is repeating over and over again means 1 or more time. So, here for the WO which we have mentioned within the parenthesis group, we are using asterisk here. That means it will match with the Batman, it will match with Batwoman, even it is going to match with Bat WW. How many time it has repeated? It has repeated more than 1 time. In all 3 cases it has matched. In next case, matching 1 or more with a plus. So, previously it is asterisk 0 or more, plus means it is 1 or more. So, star means 0 or more, 1 means 1 or more. So, next we are executing the same. In this case I am using plus here, that means the pattern, the string what we have passed for search, it has to match minimum 1 time the word. Okay. So, here word bat, yes, bat is, it is started with bat, beginning with bat, after that WO is present, at least 1 time present. Because of that reason it is going to match, because of that reason group output will be Batwoman. But here it has, it is here also it has matched, it has started with bat and with man, and in between it has repeated for 1, 2, 3, 4 times, here also matched. But when we look at this, so in previous example Batman has matched with this because of asterisk, because WO how many time it has appeared? 0 time, but here also WO appeared how many time? 0 time. On that case it is not going to match. So, on that case, so search is going to return one value. What is that value? None. That means it is not going to match. So, next it is going to check EMO3, the content of this object is none, yes. Because of that reason, so the none what that represent, it has not matched with third example. So, matching specific repetitions with curly brackets. So, for a moment assume that we have a group that we want to repeat a specific number of times. So, here we have a group, in that group I have mentioned HA. How many times this pattern has to repeat, that we have mentioned in within the parenthesis. In parenthesis I have mentioned a number, that means this is equivalent to 3 times. So, it is going to match with this 3 times, but it will not match with HA. Why it is not going to match with HA? Here HA has repeated for only 2 times. It has to match, it has to contain 3 times. Since the letter has only 2 repeats, that means here it has, this letter has repeated for only 2 times. Because of that reason it is not matching. Next, instead of one number we can specify range by writing minimum comma maximum in between curly bracket. That means, so here I have written 3 comma 5, that means the pattern is going to match with minimum 3. And one more thing, the So 3 comma 5, it is going to mention range. It is going to represent 3 or 4 or 5. That means it is going to map with a pattern which contain a letter 3 times here, 4 times here, 5 times. Next, we can also leave out first or second number in a curly bracket to leave minimum or maximum unbounded. That means, so here, so we have mentioned a pattern. After that, I have mentioned minimum, but I have not mentioned maximum. That means it is this pattern is going to map with letter HA 3 times or 4 times or more than 3-4 times. Will match, okay, here 3 or more times, but here we have not mentioned minimum, but here we have mentioned maximum. That means it will maps with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 5. Let us take one example here. So I have mentioned 3 times, yes, it is going to match with this. So here it is going to match with either 3 times a letter HA or 4 times letter HA or 5 times letter HA. Let us take one simple example here. So here I have mentioned a pattern. In that pattern, HA is there. How many times it has to repeat? It has to repeat for 3 times. So the passed string, what we have passed, whether it contains 3 times, yes. Because of that reason, matched text will be present in a group. Next, we are just displaying the content of group. What is the content of group? A letter HA, how many times it has repeated? 3 times. But in the next, the text what we have passed, it contain only 1 time. On that case, it is not going to map. So when it is not mapping is not going to successful, it is going to return none. Because of that reason, here we have got output as none. So this makes end of this lecture. So the topics which we have studied under this lectures are finding a pattern of a text without regular expressions. So next we have used regular expression to find a particular pattern. After that, lastly we have studied more pattern matching with regular expressions. Thank you.